What is up, guys? SimsterB77 here, and I'm today talking about some news about the end of the world. And I know a lot of you are maybe a little bit frightened upon this, and there's been a lot of talk about it within the past few years. And I'm here to provide you with comfort and tell you why that this ridiculous phenomenon is most likely not gonna happen. As I do know, I am no expert on this, so I cannot guarantee it, but there's a very high chance of unlikability that this, if that's even a word, that this will not happen. I'm no scientist, but here are my reasons why this probably will not happen. Alright, well, the first reason is people said that the end of the world will happen because the Mayan calendar is ending. I recently was sent news and saw a video about how a Mayan was interviewed. They were interviewing a Mayan, and they actually translated it into English to tell us what he was saying, and what the guy had to say was pretty informative. And what he said was that the Mayan calendar, the end of it, and the end of the world have nothing linked together and nothing in common. And they also even said that they're predicting that the end of the world won't be for very, very long. Nothing in our lifespan, so nothing to worry about along those lines. The second fact I want to show you, that I want to tell you about, people predicted that the sun will let off a massive solar flare. This is one of the most highly likely reasons that something would occur. Granted, a solar flare will not end the world. It will cause harm, though. And basically, here's what I'm going to talk about today. The sun is going through what we call a sun cycle. And at the end of the sun cycle, I forgot how many years it is, it gets a lot of sunspots, what we call the dark spots on the sun. And right at the end, the sun usually lets off a huge solar flare. And right now, we are at a solar maximum the sun is on, and it is a possibility that the sun could let off a huge solar flare. If it's pointing at Earth, it will do some significant damage. If it's not, it will not harm us in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, there's a unlikely chance that it will hit us, even if it does happen. It may not, but if it is pointing in the direction of Earth, this is what will happen. The solar flare will be let off and it will attack our magnetic fields, which will basically could have the possibility of shifting the poles or destroying partial parts of the magnetic field. Something main this would do is this would just wipe out electronics. Possibly power would be taken out for weeks, maybe. Your electronics will be done. Your TV probably won't work. And especially communications, there's probably no telephones, no cell phones, no service. That's basically what would happen if this were to occur, which is one of the most likely ways about this end of the world shebang. But it's still not going to have any effect on killing people, a solar flare. Another thing is it's called a rogue planet. This is another theory that was made up about this, and it's called Nibiru. Is a rogue planet that they say is hiding behind the sun, and that on the 21st it'll just magically spurt rocket boosters and shoot at us and wipe out the Earth, which sounds like a bunch of bullcrap. If we were hiding behind the sun, if we were come to Earth, it would hit the sun first and would probably shrivel up into a tiny little piece of dust. So that is a very unlikely chance. NASA has been studying, and they have found that there's no such planet called Nibiru or Planet X. Another reason why this won't happen is I recently read a NASA article. They released an article saying that this whole theory is a bunch of bunk. No planet alignment is going to occur, and even if a planet alignment did occur, it would have no significant effect or negative effect on Earth or on humans. So none of that's going to happen. The most logical reason would be a solar flare, which is very unlikely as well. So I wouldn't get too worried. Go to school the 21st. Don't worry about it. You know, I also heard, you know, multiple times I've been asking around, oh, what time's the world supposed to end? What have you heard? And they're like, 11:11 I've heard, 2:11, 9 o'clock at night I've heard, 1 a.m. like right the second the day starts. I've heard 2:01. I've heard 6. I've heard many different times. You know, if it were to actually occur, you'd have a set time, and you'd just be like, okay, that's a set time, enough making up all these stupid other numbers. This is it. Another thing, you cannot predict the end of the world. Only God knows. And if you don't, like religion, then just ignore what I just said. But and it is also ignore this if you don't, you're not in on religion. It is written in the Bible that the end of the world will occur when nobody is thinking about it, which is kind of, not very, not ever really, because there's probably always someone in this world that has the end of the world on their mind, and they're always worrying about it. So, do not worry, when 11/12 hits, and nothing happens, you'll be able to go home and celebrate and have a great Christmas break. But, until then, we still have about a day to go, and, yeah. So, count down to this theory that has no logic. Oh, and another thing, guys, NASA and the government and scientists would not leave us wondering like this. They would not leave us screwed. They would have been preparing for years for this. They would have let us know about this. They would have had us get ourselves prepared for it as well. And really, that's about it. Granted, I'm no scientist, I'm no expert on this, but based on the knowledge I've read, I've seen, I've been sent, I have heard, you're going to be fine. Don't get all worried about it. Don't get stressed about it. And most importantly, have a great Christmas, guys.